Jungkook had everything a man could want: money, charm, and women who begged for his attention. His nights were filled with wine and bodies tangled in silk sheets, but his mornings were cold, empty, and meaningless. To the world, he was a playboy billionaire. To himself, he was a prisoner of his own $T. One evening, he attended a charity gala at an old museum. Bored and restless, he wandered into a quiet hall where an ancient golden clock stood on display. Something about it drew him in. The air felt heavy, as though time itself held its breath. When he touched the cracked glass, the world spun. Light swallowed him whole, burning through his veins. His body collapsed into darkness. And when he opened his eyes, everything had changed. The modern city was gone. Instead, he found himself standing on a cobblestone street, the air cool and filled with the scent of wildflowers. Lanterns glowed faintly, and the stars seemed brighter than he'd ever seen. What the hell? Jungkook muttered, stumbling forward. And that's when he saw her. She appeared like a vision. A young woman, carrying a basket of flowers, walking with soft grace under the moonlight. Her dress was simple, white, flowing around her ankles, and her long dark hair danced in the breeze. Her eyes met his, cautious but curious. "Yan, are you lost, stranger?" she asked softly. Her voice made his heart stumble. She wasn't like the women he knew, painted, perfumed, and eager to fall into his arms. She was natural, untouched, radiant. Jungkook couldn't help the way his gaze lingered. The curve of her lips, the way her fingers held the basket, the gentle rise and fall of her chest as she breathed, everything about her ignited a hunger inside him. But this hunger felt different. He stepped closer. "Maybe I am lost," he said, his voice low. "But I think I was meant to find you." She blinked, startled by his boldness. "You speak like a man too sure of himself." He smirked, tilting his head. "And you look at me like a woman who isn't used to being looked at this way." Her cheeks flushed faintly, though she turned away. That night, Yan guided him toward the edge of the village, offering him water and a blanket to rest. Jungkook lay beneath the stars, but he couldn't take his eyes off her as she sat nearby, humming softly. He found his hand drifting closer, brushing against hers by accident. The touch sent a jolt through him, hot, electric. She stiffened, but didn't pull away. His fingers lingered, curling slightly around hers. She turned, her lips parting as their eyes locked. For a moment, the world was silent. His heart pounded, his body leaned closer. He wanted to kiss her then, to taste the innocence that tempted him beyond reason. But she pulled her hand back gently. "You are bold, stranger. But I don't know you yet." Jungkook smiled faintly, whispering, "Then let me give you every reason to." As she walked away, his body ached with desire. But for the first time in his life, it wasn't just $T that burned inside him, it was longing. Days turned into weeks, and Jungkook stayed in the village, pretending to be a lost traveler. Every day he found himself drawn to Yan. She wasn't like the women he knew. She didn't throw herself at him, didn't fall for his practiced smiles. "Yan, you look at me as if you already own me," she told him one evening as they walked through the fields. Jungkook smirked. "And if I wanted to?" Her eyes flashed, sharp and steady. "Then you would lose me before you ever had me." That answer left Jungkook speechless. No woman had ever resisted him like this. His usual $TFUL charm failed. And strangely, he loved it. For the first time, he wanted to earn someone. One night, Yan invited him to join her by the riverbank. The moonlight shimmered on the water as they sat close, their knees brushing. The silence between them was thick with tension. Jungkook leaned in, his eyes locked on her lips. "You make me feel something I don't understand." She tilted her head slightly, her breath trembling. "And what is that?" Instead of answering, he closed the distance. His lips touched hers, soft at first, hesitant, almost reverent. Her eyes widened, but she didn't pull away. Slowly, her lips parted, and his kiss deepened, filled with fire he had never felt before. His hand slid to the small of her back, pulling her against him. She gasped softly into his mouth, clutching his shirt, her body trembling with both fear and desire. When they finally broke apart, her cheeks were flushed, her lips red from his kiss. She whispered, breathless, "That was dangerous." Jungkook's eyes burned as he cupped her face. "No, that was the only thing in my life that ever felt real." The air thickened. His lips trailed from her mouth down to her neck, tasting the soft skin there. YN shivered, her fingers digging into his shoulders. YN. Jungkook, she whispered, torn between pushing him away and pulling him closer. He hushed her with another kiss, deeper, hungrier this time. His hands traced her waist, feeling the curve of her body beneath the thin fabric of her dress. She gasped as his lips found her collarbone, heat flooding her. Her innocence battled with her growing desire, but when his forehead rested against hers, his voice broke into a whisper. "I don't just want your body, YN. I want you. Every heartbeat, every breath, every part of you." Her eyes softened, her chest rising and falling rapidly. She pressed her lips back to his, surrendering for the first time. Their bodies molded together under the moonlight, and though they stopped just before crossing the line completely, the passion they shared that night burned hotter than anything Jungkook had ever known. One evening, Jungkook finally proposed her. "Jungkook. YN, I've liked you for a long time. I just don't want your attention. I want your trust, your heart, and your hand in marriage." YN laughed bitterly. "YN. You're joking, Jungkook. Guys like you don't settle down. You'll get bored in weeks." Her words stung him. From that day, Jungkook decided he would prove his love instead of just saying it. After that, Jungkook do everything to prove his love with a lot of effort, and finally YN started loving him, and then they both married. Wedding N. GHT. The soft flicker of candlelight danced across the room, casting a golden glow that seemed to amplify the luxurious setting. Jungkook's shirt, unbuttoned halfway, revealed his toned chest, while his gaze lingered on you with an intensity that sent a shiver down your spine. "Are you nervous, In?" His voice was smooth, almost teasing, as he poured 2 glasses of wine. You nodded, unable to meet his eyes, your cheeks burning under his knowing smirk. "A little," you admitted, gripping the edge of the marble counter for support. He stepped closer, the scent of his cologne intoxicating as his lips brushed against your ear. "Good," he whispered, "because I've been waiting for this moment all night." His fingers trailed up your arm, igniting sparks under your skin. You turned to face him, your breath hitching as his hands slid around your waist, pulling you flush against him. His lips captured yours in a kiss that was as soft as it was commanding, leaving no room for doubt about what he wanted. The wine glasses were forgotten as he lifted you onto the counter, his mouth traveling down the curve of your neck. Each kiss was deliberate, designed to unravel you, and you couldn't stop the soft moan that escaped your lips. "YN. Jungkook," you gasped, threading your fingers through his hair as his hands explored further, his touch both gentle and possessive. "Jungkook. Say my name again," he murmured, his voice laced with desire as he claimed you in the most intimate way imaginable. The golden glow of dawn began to filter through the curtains, painting the room in soft hues of amber and blush. Jungkook stirred beside you, his arm draped protectively around your waist. His bare chest rose and fell in a steady rhythm, the warmth of his skin grounding you in the reality of what had transpired the GHT before. You turned slightly, studying his serene expression, the way his lashes fanned across his cheeks, the faint curve of his lips that hinted at a smile. He looked impossibly peaceful, a stark contrast to the fiery passion that had consumed you hours earlier. As if sensing your gaze, Jungkook's eyes fluttered open, revealing their familiar, gentle sparkle. A lazy grin spread across his face as he pulled you closer, his voice husky from sleep. Good morning, YN, he murmured, pressing a tender kiss to your temple. Did you sleep well? You nodded, your cheeks warming at the memory of his whispered promises and tender caresses. I did, you whispered, your fingers tracing idle patterns on his chest. And you, Jungkook? I had the best night of my life, he said with a chuckle, his deep voice sending a pleasant shiver down your spine. You were perfect. You buried your face against his shoulder, embarrassed but unable to stop the smile spreading across your lips. His fingers tipped your chin up, forcing you to meet his gaze. Jungkook, don't hide from me, he said softly, brushing a strand of hair from your face. Not after last night. The weight of his words lingered between you, heavy with unspoken feelings and promises. Subscribe my channel if you like the video.